Oh, yes, that was the other one. So shout out to the Panthers because Jonathan Mingo, like I remember him very well because one wasn't drafted that long ago,
Yeah.
but I was like, oh, maybe he could just be like a possession guy for the Packers, like when they kind of needed wide receivers. And then he went to the Panthers. I was like, okay, that's pretty good to pair him up with Bryce Young. And since he's been there, it has not gone well. He's caught 12 passes this season. And I know that they drafted him with a second round pick, just like literally the other year. But yeah, to get a fourth from Jerry Jones and the Cowboys for a guy who's caught, and they need wide receivers, don't get me wrong. But yeah, that's I don't think that's going to save the franchise right now or save the season. So good luck.
I feel like
good luck.
I mean, it's hilarious that the Cowboys they're literally the only team who made a move at the trade deadline that is a bad football team. All the other teams buying are competing right now. Cowboys, you're out of it. Jerry Jones just doesn't know you're out of it. You know, Dak's down for a month at least. And I feel like the Panthers had Jerry Jones on the phone and only Jerry Jones. And they're like, Jerry, you got to give us a fourth. We have got the Birmingham Stallions ready to make a move for Mingo right now. And Jerry's like, I can't let the Stallions get in there and get it. They're like, oh fuck, we accidentally said Birmingham. Doesn't matter. Jerry Jones can't negotiate right now. He has no idea how to trade receivers. Like, it
just didn't see like it's
rough.
And again, it is only amplified by Jerry Jones saying we're going all in. If he doesn't make that comment, we're still making fun of the Cowboys. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But there is a lesser, and I think that you have seen significantly this year. And if you're a Cowboys fan, you've been saying this for a while, but it really is calling into question like Jerry Jones as a GM. And what I mean by that, it was tolerable before. It was like, okay, like, sure, whatever. It's not the best situation, but it's tolerable. It's not anymore. And it is similar. Obviously, you know, it's an owner and not a head coach. But like the Bill Belichick aspect, you could acknowledge like, hey, like good coach over here, but not a good GM. And Jerry Jones, in some aspects, I think is a pretty good owner, especially when it comes to the fandom. But when it comes to the team and stuff like that, I think you just have to give the reins to somebody who can handle that. And I think Jerry just doesn't think anyone can.
No.
And that's unfortunately like where you're at as a Cowboys fan. You're making these moves where it's not going to move the needle significantly. And when you're looking for like a Hail Mary and your quarterback is hurt, like, yeah, it's just it's not good right now, you know, for the Cowboys.
And
it's bad.
I think like it gets a little tricky too, because you're not trying to like crap on Mingo, right? And he's going to catch a lot of the heat for how the Cowboys are going to be memed right now. And I think if Dak was healthy, like everything's the same. Cowboys are bad, but Dak's healthy. You're like, okay, well, maybe there's a chance Mingo can go and get some production on the field because Dallas is going to throw the ball. But like he's going in with Cooper Rush, maybe Trey Lance getting a few plays here. Like, I don't think this is going to help Mingo at all, at least for the next 4 games or until Dak's healthy. So it's kind of a shitty situation for him as well. But yeah, the Cowboys they're out of their minds in how they're trying to build on a team that was, you know, in the playoffs every year.
Yeah. Yeah. And like and again, after the offseason you had where there wasn't a ton of acquisitions and it was kind of promised that there would be differences after that playoff game, because the Cowboys, again, they got everything they wanted last season. They had a great, you know, record during the regular season. They got the 2 seed at the end. So they had all those, they were supposed to get all these home playoff games. And bro, like the Packers came in and slapped the crap out of them as a 7 seed. And then you lose your defensive coordinator. There's a ton of injuries. Again, it's just, there are significant pieces wrong with the Cowboys. And Jonathan Mingo or like another wide receiver could help that situation. But now that you're going to have to wait for Dak to come back, it's just, you're not adding a ton to the mix that's going to give anybody a ton of confidence. And I feel like the way that we're talking about the Cowboys is worse than how we're talking about some teams that have a worse record than them.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to get that heat because they're the Cowboys, obviously. But I think it's because they get so much media coverage and because they're constantly put on primetime and they're constantly put
Yeah.
in these spots that because they're so there, their downfall or where they don't meet expectations is also going to be heavily criticized because there's so many eyes on them.
Yeah, and they're underperforming too. 3-5. But yeah, they're always going to have extra attention because they're so popular, all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to bring up this passing chart here.
We'll talk about this side.
Yeah. Can you just move that super chat real quick?
Sorry about that.
No, you're good. There's a lot of charts out there. There's too many charts out there. That's my current opinion. This one's about how much time to throw quarterbacks have, right? You see Brock Purdy up there and how far they're throwing, their average depth of their pass.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Tua's down there. He doesn't have any time to throw, and he's throwing it short right now. Like, that stands out. But what I found hilarious about this chart, Jameis Winston, not a lot of time to throw, still throwing up prayers every chance he gets.
Yep.
That is Jameis Winston is a hilarious quarterback chart if I've ever seen. I literally, when I was looking at this, I saw his name up there. I was like, it made me laugh out loud.
Yeah.
And so I found it funny. Maybe some other football nerds will find it funny. Bo Nix, also very well protected behind that Broncos offensive line. So,